Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is the monthly report for May. And in this one, we've got a couple of things going on. We've got another special guest, which I'm particularly excited about, and a whole bunch of stuff went on this month, and a whole bunch of stuff is going on next month. So without any further ado, let's introduce to the show Mr. Brett Geddes. Welcome back, mate.
Yeah, 4 months down. Gee, these years fly by when you get to my age, and there's a few birthdays I've got to talk about, actually, in the month of April.
I was going to say.
I missed yours too, so that was very naughty, but there's been a couple of very distinguished ones.
Also with me, I have a young gentleman who has been doing a lot of fishing in an extra special kayak. He's about to do a couple of competitions, and I'm particularly excited to have him on. Welcome to the show, Harvey.
Yep, thank you very much.
Mate, it's good to have you here, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got to say because I know you've caught some good fish lately. Anyway, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to roll the intros and get straight into it. Here we go.
Welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is where you need to be every Tuesday to find out all the latest tips and tricks to help you target bream on lures. You'll get to hear from some of Australia's elite bream competition anglers and see how they were able to achieve their results in competitions around the country. Now, here is your host, the 2019 Hobie Kayak Fishing World Champion, Andrew Deeth.
Can you believe it? The Atomic Round 6, we're at Foster. So this will have just been run by the time we release this show. But what a cracking venue this is. I can't wait to get up there. The Vic Bream Classics Round 2, that is also on the same weekend. They're down at Marlow. So it'll be cool to see how they go, given how Marlow is. Okay, so first up, we're going to cross over to you, Mr. Harvey. So first of all, I just want to explain to people about the kayak that you're fishing out of. So back in, I think it would be 2010, I bought a Hobie Sport. I sold it to a mate maybe 8 or 9 years ago, and he used it for about 5 or 6 years. And then it became Harvey's kayak. So he's fishing in my first Hobie kayak, fishing kayak, which I think is pretty amazing. And, mate, you've been able to catch some fish out of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've caught quite a few lately, so it's been good.
Very good. And it's had to be patched up a little bit. There's been a few broken bits and pieces. But Dad's a, I don't know, I guess he's a fitter at heart, and he's done a work of art on the Mirage drive. It's actually got grease nipples on it now.
Yeah, there's been quite a few mods made to the kayak over the years.
That's very good. All right. So, mate, one of the things you've been doing, you've been involved in the Daiwa Young Fishing Club. Why don't you give us a bit of an idea about what that's about and who can enter into it?
Yep, so it's an Australian-wide club for people under the age of 18, and there's an annual competition that runs every year.
Okay. And so to join into that, what do people have to do?
Yeah, to sign up, all you have to do is create an account using your email, and then you can sign up for a membership, which is $10, and you get delivered a Daiwa brag mat and a Daiwa hat.
Okay. All right. So, and once you go out to compete in that, I think it might be the start of April for a month. And what do people have to do in terms of how do you compete when you go out fishing? What do you have to do?
Yeah, so when you go out and fish when you catch your fish to log it in the competition and to get on the leaderboard, you have to download their app, which is pretty easy to use, and you have to take a photo of the fish with it on the brag mat with a unique code that you get sent out. I think it's every 2 weeks that it's valid for. And then you have to take another photo with you holding the fish with wearing the hat, and then it gets uploaded onto the leaderboard.
Okay. And how's that been for you? Have you caught some fish?
Yeah, I've caught quite a few fish lately. The biggest brim I caught was a 36 centimeter black brim. And it was on a bivy made by Duo, and I was just casting it towards the rocks and letting it go to the bottom.
Nice fish.
That is and that was a fat fish too. I've got a photo of that. I'll put that up. Yeah. I'll put a couple of these photos up. And what else? What other species have you caught?
I've caught a 50 centimeter flathead using the Z-Man Slim Swim with the motor oil color and just rolling it across the bottom on sandy areas. And then a Tailor was caught on the Bivi. It was only 18 centimeters, so pretty small. And then I got a Perch, also caught on the Bivi, that was 29 centimeters.
Wow. And that's pretty good. And have you caught all of those from the kayak?
Some except Perch, base fishing on the rock.
And in terms of the leaderboard, do you know where you're sitting at the moment?
Yeah, I've got it here. So the Bream, I'm sitting 8, that is 7. I'm 33rd out of 6. The Tailor, I'm 23rd out of 23rd. It's a bit small there. And the Perch doesn't have the leaderboard, but it's your overall angular size.
How good is that?
Yeah.
How good is that? And look, the other thing that we're about to do is Hobie has changed their rules on competition fishing for juniors, and it's my understanding that now you can fish a Hobie event. I believe that you're not in the running to win the competition, but you can come fish the whole event as long as you have a guardian within, I think it's 50 meters of you. So with that in mind, and I think we're going to have you in the June one at on the Georges River.
Yeah, probably be there, so it'll be good experience.
Definitely. And we went out and had a bit of a pre-fish for that one. So we've got you sorted with a live well. Dad's been playing with that and put a new pump on it, even though maybe it didn't need one, but he did it anyway. Tell us, and you and I went for a fish. We went down to the Hobie launch and put in there. Do you remember what you caught?
I could find it, but it was a couple Bream, nothing too noteworthy. I think the biggest was around 30 centimeters.
Nice work.
Yeah, so that's the plan. So hopefully Harvey will come along and we can go and have a fish and he can experience the whole Hobie thing. I think I can't remember whether you have to be 16 to compete properly or not. I'm not quite sure at this point, but definitely excited to see some of the young fellas come along and have a go. Mate, what's the biggest Bream you've caught?
The biggest Bream I've ever caught with the 36 centimeter one. It's quite.
Yep. Yeah, it was a cracker. Oh, very good.
And a black Bream too.
Yes, which is unusual for up here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll put that up. And look, when we went out with Harvey, we caught a couple of Bream. It was a bit of a slow day, and the wind came up when it wasn't meant to. But we still definitely got a couple of fish. Do you remember have you got what we caught there?
I think I got
So
3.
like a 23 centimeter Bream.
Yep. And then a close to 30, I think.
That's right. We ended up swapping rods, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also like a little bycatch was a flathead that was close to 35.
Yeah, that Bream would have gone in the well for the Hobie comp. All right.
Yep.
I reckon, Harvey, we'll leave it there, mate. Is there anything else, Brett, that you think to cover?
Oh, no, I'm just wrapped that Harvey's coming along, and so when I get to a certain age, Ethan, and get booted off, I can see my protege. He's staring at me right now. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right, Harvey, mate, look, thanks for coming on and sharing. And good luck. Maybe you'll get a chance to go fishing tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see.
Good luck, Harvey.
Thanks.
All right, mate. We'll talk to you again soon, buddy.
Cool. Sweet.
Okay, so Brett, there's something that I've got to share with not just you, but with the public. So for the collective, it's been a while, probably 6 or 8 weeks, we've been doing a lure making challenge. So the basis of this was a 30 to 40 centimeter timber lure, like a chubby style lure, and make it from scratch. Now, for me, I decided that I wanted to make it all with hand tools. So I didn't use any power tools at all.
Yeah.
And
Tricky.
And I haven't fished a lot, but I did. Something special happened yesterday.
And I was on the phone for it too. Spoiler alert.
Well, you're on the phone for number 2. I caught the little one. I was pretty happy about that because I dropped a really good fish on it, the fish that ran me around, and I thought I was going to lose the lure before I caught a fish on it. Anyway, the funny thing with that lure is when I painted it up with nail polish, and it just and super glue underneath to seal it, and it was just ugly. It was just so bad.
It was actually quite ugly, even in my world of making lures.
Exactly. And then I put a clear coat over the top, like a UV clear coat to seal it. And then it all smoothed out, all the black smoothed out, and it was nice again.
It
Well,
was only half
relatively
ugly.
nice. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yes, you're right. And then I was speaking to you, and I hooked up a legal fish instead of a little one, and yeah, it was a good one. I was pretty happy about it.
I think, in lure fishing, and if you can, even when you do mods on lures and you tinker with them and you retrofit them and you do this and that with them, you always get a kick out of doing something that someone else isn't doing, but to create something from scratch. You really do get a kick out of it. It's like when you first tie your own flies and they actually work on so-called fussy trout, which I don't believe they're that fussy, but anyway. Bream can be a bit tricky. They can be rather discerning little critters. So for you to have cricked a couple and dropped a big one, did you say? Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped a big one. I mean, basically the lure landed. Now, one of the things, I think you might have said it to me before I fished, they said, you wait and see how this lure lands compared to your normal lures. And they land differently.
They do.
Like they're softer.
So buoyant. Well, that's softer wood, and it's got a real gentle splash. It's like
It's different.
it is. It's quite surprising. It's off-putting nearly. You think, oh, this ain't gonna work, but it did for you.
It did for me. Made me very happy. As you heard, it's probably the most excited I've been about catching a fish for a very long time.
Oh well,
And
you made me hang up, and that's not like you.
I had to, mate. I was busy.
You were overexcited. I loved it. I was happy for you.
Oh, mate, it was a cracker. It wasn't a cracker. It was a nice fish. And then I got a couple more, and I dropped a couple, and then it was dark, and it was time to go in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's in the box for good now, isn't it?
Well, it's still hanging up in the car, but I want to catch it. I think I need to catch it. I want to see the way I put the screw eyes in. I basically twisted up some wire, drilled the hole with the hand drill, and just super glued it in. I want to see how much I can pull that.
Yeah.
Like I want to try it on a bigger fish.
Yeah, I thought of that with mine too, to see if it would withstand. And also too, pulling off snags and trying to dislodge it. There's a little bit involved there. You want a bit of strength with that. So, and my story is not quite as. I got a kick out of it, but gee, it took a long time, Dorothy. I don't know how long it took you swimming your lure, but I'm saying I was in the middle of a pretty hot perch bite, and I'm thinking, now's the time. I'll get them. Me over an hour to get my first one, and there weren't many misses or plucks in between, and I just know when the perch are on and you're not getting the hits and the misses and all that, they're really not interested. You're not doing the right thing, or something's really NQR.
Is that right?
I reckon it was me, but I persevered and I got one, and I thought, oh, thank God I can put it away now. I reckon mine is really bad. It's pretty bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I got mine fishing edges, and a couple of them I was throwing it over the top of some rocky, oystery boulders. And that's a place where the brim they either get it or they leave it. They're not sitting there looking at it, if that makes sense. So it's more of a reaction bite, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Because
and the same
you're probably fishing a total different scenario to me. You've probably got high flow, more opportunistic feeding, and
that's exactly right. And the bigger one that I dropped, I mean, I don't really get typically that sad about dropping a fish, but I was sad about that one because I was like, this is a good fish, and I made this lure. How clever am I? Look, I'm the smartest man alive.
Yeah,
so
it's a great feeling. It gets very addictive. I'm warning you. This mightn't be the end.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. And now that I've made one completely by hand, well, I've got all the tools, so I'll just get the disc sander out and do one. I'll do a couple like that and just have a crack.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure.
But
will you go black again, or will you change different colours? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I hadn't got that far. I mean, I've got all the airbrush stuff. I've just not ever used it.
Yeah.
So, but mate, I actually want to move on to something that you to one of your lures, mate. You had an extra special lure, which was up behind you. We had a bit of a technical issue there.
Yeah.
It was behind you when we first started the thing out. Tell us about that lure.
Yeah, you might be able to put it up behind me as you do the edit later on. So good mate Beth, and she's part of the collective. She made a lure for me. Well, I think she was, I don't know if she made it herself, but she was the instigator behind it all. It's laser printed, so it's pretty special looking. But it's the Doughnut lure. She made a little tiny donut, say yay big, and it's got sprinkles on it, and it's pink icing, as you'll see here in the background. And I was really chuffed. I thought, well, thanks, Beth. This is a bit of a challenge. And it looked real pretty. It looks the part. And I said, well, I'm going to make this work. This is going to happen. You can't give me that challenge and expect me not to follow through. So, it took a little while. It took me a while to work out how I was going to rig it up. And I put an Arc Genesis Cheb weight on it to get it to sink, because it does want to float fairly readily. And I put a couple of double hooks. She had 2 double hooks, and back-to-back too, they were.
Right, a double.
Double. It was a quaddie. She did quaddie. She's been watching, and she's very attentive. And I was quite chuffed again with that. And I thought, well, look, I'll spread them apart. So I had 3 hookup points. I could put a double, and the Cheb weight at the top.
Wow.
And I teabagged it, and Beth, I have to say, it didn't go off in really quickly, but I persevered, and then next thing, clunk, and Theo, I had one of those moments that you had. It's like, so I called it the Homer Simpson. We all know Homer and how he loves donuts, so it's caught, it's caught 2 fish, 2 perch, yeah.
2 perch.
Perch. And then I've retired it for the time being. Too scared to lose it. I've got to test all the hookup points to see if, because, I think I need more robust split rings, and I've got to do maybe a little bit of tinkering. But
yeah, okay.
Donuts work. They're hungry. They love them.
Who knew? Who knew donuts were a lure? Yeah, actually, you reminded me on the lure that I made when the last fish I got, it had bent the split ring around, which is really weird. Like I ended up having to replace the split ring. So I don't really know why that happened.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like in all my time, there's only, in all my fishing, there's probably only been a dozen split rings that have been really destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
So I don't really know why.
Well, what I can say with the donut, just in closing, is that I reckon it's beaten the dice.
Look at
the dice was pretty funky when my first fish on the dice. And I just thought, well, if I can get one on this donut, it certainly surpasses the dice. Surely. So, yeah, that was in the last month of April. So it's been a big month, I'm telling you.
Yeah, mate. So we're going to get into the numbers of fish you've caught, because you've caught a lot of fish.
Oh, weather's been just incredible.
Let's move on, mate. Tell us about what you've been up to, mate. I know you have been absolutely slaying the fish. You've got some huge numbers, and then had some tougher days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, how can I sum it up? Look, the weather's been fantastic from mid-April to the end of it. And it's been 2 weeks of phenomenal weather. Like 27 degrees in April. That's pretty cool. We don't multiple days of it too.
Yeah.
Very little wind. So it's been, it's given me the opportunity to go and search different areas, and especially open lake water, which is where the fish thankfully have been congregating. And so I haven't sort of sat in the rivers like I do historically. So cutting to the chase, I just updated my figures for this year so far, and everyone knows I'm always talking about my fishing diary, but it even astounds me at times when I start doing all the sums. And we're 4 months in, and I've stacked up 511 estuary perch, 223 bream, to 48 centimetres too, by the way, which is pretty small.
Wow.
99 bass for the year so far, which is far exceeds anything I've ever done. And I'm still catching them. Every week I'm catching bass. It's bizarre. And I'm not even targeting them. They shouldn't even be where I'm catching them.
Yeah, wow.
And about 89 flathead, I think it was, yeah. And the best at 86. But this month alone, I've caught about 350 fish all up.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up a bad trip, because just yesterday I went to Latrobe, where I've been going pretty good, and not one perch, not one bass, not one bream, just 4 ugly, manky, feral, septic carp.
Right.
To really hit home and put me back in my spot. I really hate them. Some people say carp are still good fun, they pull hard. Whoever says that needs their head read. Yeah, it's just feral. I hate them. They pinch your lures and they chew up 10, 15 minutes and they stink and they look ugly. And so that was a rule. And I put in a fair effort to put in probably 6 hours. I just wanted one perch. A few knocks and bumps and dropped one, maybe 2, but I'm not. In the end, I said, I've got to go home because I need a donut. I don't want one. A donut's better than one. That's how I look at it.
Fair enough.
Tony Petty's with me and he got 4 perch and a bream, I think.
Okay.
He was happy with himself, so that made it even worse in a way. But anyway, he just said, hey, now you know how it feels.
Well, there you go. I did have a conversation. I interviewed Tony the other night. It was quite a good chat.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. He's really in form. Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he had a pretty rough start to the season, but he's kind of he's back. He's Batman. He's back.
He's back big time. Yeah. So
yeah.
So that's been the highlight, pretty much. I also have to say that there's a lot of other good fishing that's coming in through the wires. You know, like I'm talking about Ben River's going really well. Marlow, I'm hearing stories, even South Gippsland. Lots of flathead on lure and stuff like that, which for April's not that common. So, like, the weather's sort of hanging in there, water temps and all that. Yeah, so it has been particularly good weather, and everyone's coming in with amazing reports. And back to the Gippy Lakes, you're familiar, because I know you've done so many interviews with the Straits, Hollands Landing, Seacombe, Lake Wellington, even the Nico and the Mitchell, and even the Tambo. All those sites are now producing mulloway.
Really?
All on lure, blades, plastics, particularly blades. People are just going, bang, what's going on here? A mulloway? I wasn't expecting. They're turning up more and more and more.
Wow.
And you know, is it the netting or the lack of netting that those Gippy Lakes, they've bounced back? Is it, I don't know what to put it down to. I know the salt water has pushed way up into the system, Deethy. It's come right up into Wellington where I live. And I know that would definitely be a catalyst for the higher captures, but these fish are into the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
And I reckon they're here to stay. And there's smaller ones around too. But they're the numbers. And people are now going, there's a fella just the other day, I think Tony was talking to him. He turned up at Seacombe, which is the top end of the Straits, and targeted mulloway and got 3. Now,
wow.
You couldn't have done that 2-3 years ago, 4 maybe, definitely not 5 years ago. And so, you go back 20, 30 years, it's just unheard of.
Yeah, wow.
So
but there must be bait in the system. Like mulloway are not going to be there unless there's something to eat. So there must be some food there.
Well, there's lots of mullet. There's lots of tailor. There's lots of salmon. Now, I think they're high priority for the Jewies, on their diet. But there is mountains of bait, anchovies particularly. And like the perch, you can see them busting up on bait. Well, every trip I'm going out and I'm seeing big bust ups, and it's all perch.
Yeah, right.
And so they're feeding heavily on that. So you've tapped into something very important there. Yeah, there is mountains of bait and shrimp. There's another one too. We've noticed.
Yeah. Well, you've got the trifecta there, mate. Mullet, Tailor, and shrimp or prawns. Like,
Oh, and prawns. There was prawns too.
well, there you go.
So that's been a huge interest, and it's really starting to prick a lot of ears of very interested anglers. So, following on from that, have I got one? No. Well, I've caught one in the Gippy Lakes and all those hundreds and thousands of casts. And incidentally, I punch out those numbers and say, look at me, aren't I good? I got a lot of fish. But you know what? That's taken over 60 trips, 61, I think.
That's right.
It's a lot of fish, and it's a lot.
It's a lot of fishing.
Yeah, So I should actually, well, I have. I want to point that out. I put a lot of hours in. And as I say, always, I'm lucky I've got no brains. I just don't know when to go home.
But in talking to you, there's days where you catch a bunch, you're getting 40 fish.
Yeah.
And then days where you go, okay, I got 6.
Oh, well,
So,
that's, let me bring that up. I wrote down my best trip. I got 56 perch. Here it is here. 56 perch, 8 bream and 1 bass in, I reckon, barely a 6-hour day session.
okay.
So now that's busy. That's super busy. And because I fish pretty heavy leaders too, this is another thing. I give it to them. Like when I'm hooking perch, and I'm not so much about. I love tricking fish. I love the tricking, and I got him as far as playing them out and that. I'll get that. Screw down.
You're just winding him in.
I'll screw down that drag and get him in. It's almost like watching those, bass fishermen over the largemouth bass over in America. I know I've been accused of it a lot of times. Brett, what are you doing? We're giving that fish a chance. I said, no. That fish doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'll pull him in. Unless he's a big truck and that, you want to admire him and get photos. I'm all about, I'm looking around for the next snag as I'm winding him in,
Where's the next one?
Oh, look, I'm guilty of that. But that's my thing. I do love numbers, but I just love tricking fish. Once I've tricked them, that's the end of the penny section. I just want to move on. So, look, the numbers, but that's an exceptional day. I mean, some days I'll be getting 5 or 6 or 8 or 10, but generally 20 to 40 fish a session the last month nearly.
Yeah, okay.
So it does add up. So, and it's not me alone. I've got a couple of mates, Rick and Tony and others that are getting 30 and 40 fish with me each.
Yeah, which are a great number. Okay. So for the month of April, you can only have one. What's your standout lure?
Gee, that's a good question. It's probably going to be because of its diversity. I'm going to say a spread 85 because I can fish it weedless, and I can fish it out in the lake. It's really coming into play out in the lake. Maybe a Sprat 65. Here's one left field because...
The paddle tail?
Yeah, because it's a smaller item and it's representing those bait fish that the perch and bream too, by the way,
Okay.
are predating upon. So, one only. You see.
But okay, so let me rephrase it another way. If you had to go back and fish April again, and you could only have one lure, so you had to fish April, you go, okay.
Gee, that's... I tell you, well, it's probably the hard on soft.
Look out.
Yeah, because I can fish it. I've been fishing snags a lot in the river, like tied in country, deep, really deep, embedded snags and a lot of timber in it. And also in the lakes, I'm fishing the margins right on the edges, and they've all got submerged tea tree roots because the banks have been eroded away. And what's left behind is... You see the tea tree in the background, but 2 foot down off that edge and 3 foot, it's all tree roots. And it probably comes out 6 or 8 foot. So, you can fish soft plastics weedless, but you still hook up a fair bit. You know, you don't quite beat it. But my hard-on sauce with the double hooks that ride through that timber, like I'm pulling through timber all the time. I can feel it dragging through, and it'll drag, and next thing it'll go clunk. So they're watching and looking at it, and so I'd have to settle on that because of its. It's not just snag resistant; it's nearly snag proof. That lure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, hard on.
So it must be, I mean, the way you're talking, it must be being presented to the fish in a way that they're just not used to seeing. There's nothing else out there that's doing exactly that.
There's definitely that. But the main thing is that it's in the back of timber where you really can't get many lures. You can swim lures in there, and quite often when the fish are really on, they beat the soft plastic or the hard body or whatever they beat it to the snags.
Yeah, right.
You know, those, you've seen those, you've fished and haven't you, those scenarios where you throw your lure in and you get one crank and then it's all, it's on. So there's no real, snag busting, so to speak. No, that's probably what I'd settle with. And outside that, if I had to have a second one, I've been fishing a lot of hard bodies in open water, but no snags.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enjoy too, because you don't have to worry so much about structure. And I've been using Twitch 50 straight out of the box. Trebles and all. Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I know it. No
Trebles.
weight, no nothing.
Trebles,
and the
get your
slam.
fingers.
Do you know the hurricane slams with the big bib on it?
Yeah, it's like a dunk.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've used your dunk too, by the way, and caught perch on it.
Yeah, right.
I've also used Daiwa's Vikes. I've
Okay. Well, they're all,
through them, yes.
I was going to say they're all friends.
Yep. So, so it's been very special, actually. And as I often say, I'm only as good as the fish that are there. I'm stacking up huge numbers and I'm putting a lot of hours to get them.
That's right.
But DT's been very special because what I'm telling everyone, and I said this last year as well, Bem River and just pick another scenario, even Marlow and Tamboon, for instance, those three fisheries which I've always gone to and relied on getting big fish, they've all come to me. They're now the Gippy Lakes.
Mm.
The Gippy Lakes now is as good as any of those fisheries, if not better.
Yeah.
And it's all on my doorstep. Like the Latrobe, which I've been fishing a lot, 16 minutes from home, and the price of diesel at $3 a flipping litre, just as well.
Yep.
No.
That's it. Well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, mate. What about the next month? What about the month of May? What's it typically like down there?
It should and very well could get a lot better.
Really?
Yeah, pretty hard to believe, but here's what happens. The lack of rain, for one, lets that salt water inundation push further and further up into the system, the western systems, right near me. So places like Marley Point and Latrobe and all that, Lake Wellington's, so the whole system, it fills up with salt water, and the fish come with it because the streams that feed into it from my end are pretty much, and now I'm talking about the Latrobe, it's a fair source of fresh water, and they seek it out because there's slowly moving into that let's go breeding and spawning time's not so far away. And I know this time of year is when they start pushing up and looking for that bit of fresh. And they will get into the Nicholson, and they will get especially into the Mitchell, which is fishing incredibly well now too. But to answer your question, I'm going to try and hang my hat on this one and say I reckon I'm in for a better month. It's hard to say, but like we're getting Flathead now in Lake Wellington.
Yeah, right.
They've come a long way. They've come 100 kilometres, I reckon.
Yeah, right. Okay, so they come a long way upriver.
It's a long way through the Straits, up through Lake Victoria. And I mean, Flathead, Lake Wellington, a lot of people who know the place really well will just go, wow.
Yeah, okay.
So it's really, quite special. Oh. But, mate, you've been fishing too. Let's swing this around for a second. You've been out a fair bit. you've been doing a little bit. You've had a little bit more free time, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I thought when I sat down to do the report, I actually thought, I haven't fished this much, but I've actually fished 6 times, I counted.
Yeah.
And I fished all different locations. So I fished with Harvey. So we went out and did a bit of a pre-fish for the Hobie comp. And we played around with some baby vibes and all this sort of stuff and caught a few. And the fish that he spoke about, that first fish on the cast, that was so good. Because I thought I'll go and sit with him and I said, all right, so cast it in. He cast it in and he got this cast was perfect. I probably should have said it while he was on. And it kind of went under the backboard of the boat and it dropped for like a second and a half. And I just saw it go, tick, now go, you're on.
He didn't feel it?
I don't know whether he felt it or not. Like,
Yeah.
it probably all happened at the same time. So, but yeah, so he caught a fish straight up. And then, unfortunately, we did get a bit of wind through that wasn't scheduled. But yeah, it was particularly good to see him going out in my old kayak. What that kayak meant to me all those years ago. Right? Like, it's not the original hull because it got replaced, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It was very special to me. So it was really cool to see my mate's son in that.
Yeah,
So-
and you may very well embrace Harvey further into maybe doing the Hobie comps and all that and get him involved too.
Yeah.
You're thinking along those lines, aren't you?
That's the plan. Well, him and you know, any of the other kids out there, that's the future of the competition. And some of these guys are coming through will surpass us in skill levels. Because
yeah,
there's a lot more out there for them to learn, to learn more easily, and they're just keen. They're so keen.
Oh, Deethy, some of the young anglers I talk to now, they know more rods than I've ever known. They know the lure names, they know their lengths, they know their spec. Oh,
That's right.
it's too hard for me. But this just rolls off their tongue, and they watch a lot of content because
right.
they're able to, and it's good stuff. And look at what Morgo's doing now. I mean, we watched that. And we're amazed and just flabbergasted. But the young ones are just going, oh, yeah, get it right. So that's, yeah, oh, I need to. It's just like, oh, okay, that's what they do these days. We're coming from old school where, you know, we're fishing blind for 20-something years. And so,
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But I mean, even Harvey, like he's tying FG knots. You know, he's like, there's lots of adults that are not tying FG knots.
well,
So how good?
one of them, yeah.
You're not tying. Oh, we got to fix that.
No, I'm too old. I'm too cranky. I want to. My leaders are too strong. I can just tie granny knots.
You tie granny knots. You're probably right. Oh, well, there you go, mate. The other thing I want to move on to is Tassie.
Yeah.
So, of course, we saw. There's one of the a credit to Steve, and I've said this a few times recently. He's out there. He's filming practice. He's filming like pre-fish. He's filming
Steve Moore.
comp days,
Yeah, legend.
and he still wins.
Yeah.
And shares all that information. And then even in the second comp, he was only knocked off by Isaac by I think it was 35 grams.
30 grand.
35 grams.
Yeah.
Isaac went down to Ralph's Bay and did whatever he did down there. And Morgo just a little bit behind him. I think it was one upgrade that cost him, or he would have had the double header. So
Deethy, Morgo is just so unflappable. Like, he's talking to us all day. He's got
That's right.
the tip rolling. He's got 2 screens going. He's got this happening. He's got, he's got to get the photos taken, or he's got to put the fish in the live well, upgrade lures, non-boater helping, and the netting. And
that's
he's
right.
got to go back and do the presentations, and he's got to then have tea and have a couple of quiet ones, and then more talking with all the anglers back at the pub, and then more.
And then media. He puts all the media goes up. Like he's got highlights up in the night time.
I know.
So
And further to that, Deethy, I'm texting him, sending me messages now, and I'm going, go, you flipping good thing. And he's getting, oh, yeah, Brett, it's been great. I'm not used to getting such a, a good jerk bait bite on Bream. I'm going to stick to it. And I'm thinking, I didn't expect him to answer me. I just wanted to be my support. If he saw it, so be it. But I know when we had him on, I beefed him up, and in the intro, remember, I probably went too far. And he made comment, he says, "Oh, Brett, you embarrass me." Right? Because he is Mr. Tech Savvy. He is Mr. Catch of Bream Savvy. Bass. Barra. I don't need to go on all the different lure types, even uses, things that like Twitch 40s and little hard bodies that a lot of people don't use, and the aqua.
Yeah. The aqua, the hybrid shrimp. Now, the rise of the hybrid shrimp in the last year and a half, I think a large proportion of that could be attributed to what he's done with it.
Yeah.
So
I don't see him putting baby vibes on, though. I think we should rectify that.
Well, he has. It's not his favourite.
Okay. All right.
But maybe it should be. But he has used the Bivi. Last year, I think when Joya came on board, he started throwing Bivis around.
Yeah.
And he's done reasonably well on Bivis.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Look,
yes. Yeah.
in addition to Morgo, there was 2 Hobie comps and then 3 ABT. So I've done a bunch of interviews.
Oh, yeah.
There was an interview that I really enjoyed with Leighton Beer, who fished with Joseph Gardner. So that'll be out in the coming days after this is released, I think. So that's one to look out for. It's one of the things about the podcast. You never know who the best interviewer is going to be in any given show. It may not be the winner. It may be the winner, but it may not be.
Yeah.
Who else have I interviewed? Jesse and Peter. They won the teams event. That was a great interview. It was really nice to talk to both those guys. And I can't remember because we talked for quite a while, but I know they certainly had a great time fishing together. First time they ever fished together.
Yeah.
And interviewed young Mikey Vukic.
Yeah. Terrific.
So
yeah.
Didn't he smash it?
Oh. And Titi, while we're on this subject, and you've mentioned that you fished 6 times for the month of April. Can we just have a quick chat about actually how many interviews have you done in the last, say 4 weeks? It's been a busy comp. The arenas have just kept on coming and kept.
I think the week leading up to today, I think I did 17 in the last 7 days. And then
that's amazing.
The weeks preceding that were a little bit slower. Like I was only doing maybe 3 to 4 a week. But yeah, just with the double headers, the triple header. And then as we record this, today is the 26th of April that we're recording this. There was a New South Wales tournaments on today. So I've got three, and this will be a good interview too. This will be a good, the guys who took it out, which I can't remember who won. I know Tim Vickers came second, and yeah, this will be a good show. Actually, I do know it was Scott Wilson. It was Scott Wilson and his dad. They won it, and then Tim Vickers and his partner. I can't remember his name at this point. And then some guys I interviewed, the previous New South Wales tournament's father and son team, Mitch and Matt Simonis. But yeah, anyway, look, a lot of interviews. It's a very hectic week, and I've still got to do, I think 3 more from Tassie. There's 3 or 4 I haven't got.
And I just want people to know this. So to do 3 interviews, for instance, first, second, and third, the phone calls go to those people, male, female, whoever, and the phone calls are going to come back. You got to organise a time, and then, oh no, I can't do it that time. Can you ring back? Can I get back to you? You can't. You don't get an answer. I mean, this is not a straightforward scenario where. And the interviews themselves, I gather there wouldn't be much change out of an hour each, would it be?
I block out an hour now. Yeah. Okay. Just by the time you say hello, and I think I'm going to do a show on how I think I'm going to record doing a show the bits and pieces that go along with it.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, by the time you get on and you have a chat, which we need to do, we've got to have a bit of, you don't want to just launch in cold.
100%. Yes.
And same at the end. It always feels bad if you say, okay, thanks for that, see ya. Even though the recording might stop, it's very rare that the conversation does, because it's kind of good. Like these guys have done exceptionally well, and I always want to, I don't know, congratulate them.
Oh, that's 200%. Because really, it's that in some instances, I'm sure it's the first time you've ever spoken to them. So it has to be that way, you know.
Often. And I think as we approach show 200, I guess I'm at probably 650 or 700 interviews now.
Wow. Yeah. And it would probably constitute 300 different anglers, maybe.
I think so. There's definitely times when I've gone to reach out to someone and I go, I think I've spoken to you before, but I can't quite remember, which seems odd, but it's just
it has to
through
be
sheer volume of.
Oh, you couldn't.
We've had such a lot of good stories. There's been some fabulous guys on, and like I said, it's always, I never know where that wonderful piece of information is going to come from. It could come from the second non-boater. It could come from the first boater. You just don't know.
I want to bring one up, and that is Joel Crosby.
Yes.
2 fourths in Tassie just recently. I haven't even heard the interviews, but you don't interview him. Sorry.
I probably am going to interview Joel.
Oh,
because I can't get one of the guests.
That's a pity.
Not a pity, because we get to talk to Joel.
Okay, so it's a win. That's 10.
It's a win.
Quick smart.
It's a win.
But Joel's been doing this technique thing, power breaming with big plastics. I've talked about this before because this is right up my aisle. You know, doing things different and but sticking to his guns and getting the results. It's sort of, for me, this is a huge win. 4th doesn't, for me, that's another big win. And he's been doing this on the mainland, back in Marla, but he's been doing it at BEM, doing it at a lot of different places. Really intriguing. This is really different. So stay tuned and listen. If you do get to talk to Joel, if you're not already up with it, I reckon this is it in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he has spoken a little bit about it, and I must say that I haven't fully got my head around it, so I'll have to drill into that.
He's doing it like quietly in the background. He's not making big noises about it, but he's getting the results, and that's just ever so different. And look at his bycatch. And all those dewies down at Marlow and Raymond got one to Mr. Cooper. That was a real buzz to set into it too. But no, just to stay on that subject matter with Joel, you were saying you don't know where it comes from as far as something big or different. Yeah, there's a prime example, I reckon.
100%. As it turns out, assuming he'll have a chat with me, he'll be 4th place, and I know that it'll be a good interview.
Yeah, good stuff. And then summing up, I just wanted to say, if people don't get how onerous a thing these interviews are, I want to reach out to a lot of anglers and say, if you do have 1st, 2nd, or 3rd and DT rings, please make his job easy, because
I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I know. You're a very patient man, and you are also quite unflappable. You don't lose your stuff very often, if at all. You may be entitled to, especially if someone doesn't want to be interviewed or something, what's the go with that? You know, if you've
I don't know how to answer.
If you've come 1st or something, or 2nd, I best leave that.
Yeah, and look, like weeks like last week, I don't know whether I should talk about it, but I'm going to, I've got all those interviews to do. Like, it's really hard to arrange 15 or 20 interviews. Like, some people are brilliant. They'll come straight back and we'll make a time. And that's what I would say. Okay, so some of the examples of that is Steve Morgan. So we did his interview. I rang him or texted him after it was like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'd already done 3 interviews for the day. And he's like, do you want to do it now?
Oh.
So he's been on the water probably up since 4, on the water, done the comp, run it, done his media, had dinner, and then he did another 2 interviews with me.
Oh, answering my stupid text. Yeah.
And answering your stupid text. And probably 4 or 5 other people or 10 people. Like, so
That's probably, well, that wouldn't be altogether rare. Oh, there would be others that would bend over and help you, no end.
look, to be fair, most people do. I mean, like I was trying to say, I guess last week was hard. Like Morgo helps out. Like we're working together with the podcast, and yeah, like
Yeah.
we need to get those interviews recorded and done. So,
Well, that's why when you ring me and say, mate, when are we doing the monthly report? I say, well, I'm retired. You give me a time. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. or... I know what you go through, and I want to raise that. We should be aware of it. But anyway, we
no, I appreciate that.
Won't
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Having said all that, look, the interviews out of Tassie were very, very cool. I spoke to Michael Mars. I hadn't spoken to him before.
Yeah.
So Stephen's cousin. So that was really interesting. I spoke to Steve Steele. He was another one that jumped on, and I could see, because we can see each other when we do the interviews.
Yeah.
He was very tired.
Okay.
It's a big week for the anglers.
For sure.
And he was extremely tired, but still made time to jump on and have a chat. He's always been very gracious when I've asked him to help me out. So,
And that's a fair comment. It is tough on anglers, a lot of travel, because when you get home, there's stuff to do.
that's right.
Lots of
And
stuff.
even for people with families, like they get home, they've been away for their wives. The last thing they want to do is go, hey, I've got to go and jump on a phone call for an hour. It's probably going to be 8 o'clock at bedtime.
Yeah.
So, but, having said that, we've had some great shows, and, I appreciate
Well done.
them all.
Keep it up. That's fantastic listening. I reckon I've covered off and most of the stuff I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought up the Morgo thing, because I've been glued to the phone, watching his live stream, watching his presentations, and that it's been an incredible learning curve for me. I never thought this far into my lure fishing career, if you like. I'm learning more in the last month than I reckon I maybe ever have. That
Interesting.
pretty special stuff. And it's all because of Morgo, and it's all because of tech. Just Steve. It's also about other things that are going on, but also other people are embracing bits and pieces, and they've got their own version of it, and they're sharing as well. It's a real, for me, it's an era that's, if I was a young person coming through now, they can learn so much so quick. I think Plinio brought this up, that when you fish with a young angler, you're learning off them.
Mm-hmm.
They might only be 10 trips in, but they're telling you stuff, and you go, oh, right.
Yeah. Mate, you reminded me of something. In the last month, I was able to get early access to the forward-facing sonar course that Steve and Nabil Izza brought out. Now, just to clarify that, this last week's episode, which last week's episode was the episode I did with Nabil, and we talked a little bit about it. But I was able to watch this forward-facing sonar course, and I got to tell you, it was pretty cool. Morgo is such a good way of explaining things.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
I'll tell you a couple of things about it that I really liked. One of the things was he went back. He took the 3 main competitors, so Garmin, Humminbird, and Lowrance, and he got one of those units.
Yeah,
And he went back and did factory settings on all of them and set them up. So if you've got that, you could basically sit out on your boat with the course on your phone and set it up exactly the way he did it. And honestly, it was phenomenal. He talked about how the cone or the beams work. He had visuals for that.
Yeah.
He did a little bit on mapping, which was quite bizarre because that's not what it was about. But I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
And then he basically went through all the different species that he's fished for. So he did, Bream and Mulloway and Barra and I think threadies and all that sort of stuff. So I think that was pretty cool. And the other reason I bring it up is for anyone in the collective, they've actually given us a little bit more of a discount for the guys in the collective. So
Oh, that's a cool thing.
I wanted to make sure everyone's kind of aware of that.
Okay.
So
Good.
So yeah, and as this show comes out, the sound, of course, would have been released the previous Friday. So last Friday.
The one thing I know about tech, and I'm certainly not an expert at all, but the more you use it, the more it tells you. The more you become familiar with it and how, not just how to work and operate it, because there's lots of stuff you're not going to use. Like you point out, the mapping. A lot of people might not even go into that side of things, but I just know in my limited experience, the more you use it, the more it tells you, and the more you learn. But the other thing too is the more I fish with others that have got the forward-facing sonar, that they're telling me stuff now that's really interesting, such as, oh no, these fish are sounding up and moving like these aren't perch, these are bream, and they're not. Wow. And these are definitely not carp, and they've used this, their sounders a lot, and they say over time it becomes so obvious, and even to the point where they can cast a fish, particularly bream, and they can discern pretty much straight away whether it's going to come forward and eat a lure or not.
Mm.
And I reckon even when you watch Morgo, he's starting to do that too. He's saying, oh, there's fish out there. Who's going to eat it? You listen to him, he says, who's going to eat it? Oh, well,
that's right.
None of you can eat it. Right. So he'll zoom around and find another little mob. He doesn't even persevere with them.
No, he just goes to the next one. But you reminded me, and I won't give away what he said, but he basically showed you a way to review your forward-facing sonar to help you work out patterns in the way in the fish behaviour. And I won't give away what that is because it's not my thing to give away. But there's so many parts of this course that I think it's going to be something you'll watch a few times over, and then hone in on the spots. Even the mapping, if you saw it, it'd spark your interest. So
interesting, yeah.
So anyone that wants to have a look at that, it's My Fishing Coach is where you go to. So punch that into your browser, or jump back on last week's show, which is the one I did with Nabil Izza, which is another cracking episode. So it was really, really fun to have a talk to him. Nabil, having come up through the ranks from a child, or a relative child, and then to become a champion angler. So. Very, very cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. That's been a busy month, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Chip, and I'm back at the office tomorrow. I've got 5 days ahead of me. No wind, sunshine, 25 digs, average every day.
Well, there you go, mate. Well, and you're in Melbourne, so no public holiday.
Yeah, that's right. So that's good. That's good for me because I don't see less people on the water, the better.
That's right. For me, I've got a public holiday and I'll be editing this.
You bet. Yeah, well, that's another thing we didn't bring up when we we're talking about what you do too. You've also, once this is all done and dusted, there's editing and going back a year or two or not even a year, maybe, that was nothing short of a couple of hours for each show.
Oh, well, back when I first started doing the monthly report, it was taking me 8 hours to edit it.
That's incredible.
But that's because I was hopeless at it. But that's okay. It's a learning thing,
and tech has come a long way, hasn't it? Like there's editing suites, and there's like you can outsource it, and there's all sorts of stuff you can do now.
That's right, and the AI has changed things. But mate, one last thing that I want to go through is. At the end of this week, so this is Sunday, end of this week, mate, I'm off to Foster to fish the Hobie comp. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, okay. You're looking forward to this one?
Looking forward to this one, and I'm likely going to have a week off afterwards.
Right. I reckon you need it. Will you try and limit your interviews and maybe just have a bit of me time?
I won't. I don't think I'll be doing interviews in that week. It'll all have to just wait a week. Except for if anyone stays up there on the Sunday night that came in the top 3 for the Hobies, I'll probably grab them and do the interviews in person.
What's your plan, mate? Have you got a little itinerary? You might travel, might do something, wing it?
No, I'm going to wing it. I want to be honest, I actually just want to have a reset.
Yeah.
I just want to be honest, I want to be on my own a little bit.
Oh, mate, that's therapy enough. I think that's the allure for fishing for me is when I'd go, I fish by myself a lot, and I reckon it's helped keep me sane. And I'm not saying that lightly.
Yeah, so that's the plan. So hopefully I can get to do that. So yeah.
Hey, Deethy, I want to end with an unusual question. You didn't know I was ready or going to ask this one, but out of the blue, I want to ask you something. What sort of fishing are you watching? Like what do you source? Whether it's YouTube or do you watch stuff from overseas, or do you watch nymphs fishing? What do you?
Yeah, I have a few things. So I'll start with the local stuff. I pretty much watch everything bream related that Morgo puts out, or whether even the Tackle Fridays, whatever that is, I'll watch it. I watch Nev's fishing. So I'll watch and see what he's up to.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of Jacob Wheeler stuff out of the States. I enjoy watching his competition reviews. So he does...
That's bass tournaments, yeah?
Bass fishing. Yeah, champion bass tournament angler.
Okay.
And him and his mate DC, Dustin, I can't remember his last name. So I'll watch a bit of that. So I watch a fair bit. And these videos are half an hour, 40 minutes long.
Yeah. Okay.
And they do a comp. And I don't know why. I find that quite interesting. Sometimes I watch Carl Dubois.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
That's true. I watch all of Carl's. Carl's videos are cool.
Yeah.
Who else? There's a few guys that put some content up. Mick Duck. Sometimes I haven't seen his stuff for a little while. The Crebos.
Oh yeah.
So they put some stuff up. So I usually watch those. So it's a fair bit. To be honest, for a long time I've watched a lot less TV and a lot more content.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then intermittently, some other guys, depending on what's going on. I do like the big Flathead on drone footage. So there's a couple of guys that do that.
Yeah. It's always really interesting. Yeah. So, I'm always looking at Nev. I'm always up. I don't lose track of what Nev does. He's just got a great delivery, and he's been doing a lot of perch stuff too, just quietly. So that's been...
Yeah, right.
I love Lubin Pfeiffer. For me,
the full scale?
Yeah, the full scale. Yeah.
Yep.
If people haven't tuned and tapped in on that one, for me, he's one of the real legends. And he's also mastered the teabagging with
that's right.
The blading, with yellow belly, which is just like what I do with perch and bream.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same, in fact. It's identical, but he's the only other person I know that's really tapped in on that. I mean, we're not the only two, but I'm just saying he's really, and he's mastered. And so that's pretty cool. I like that. But, Morgo stuff, I've come to realise that bloke, I am number one fanboy, and I'll openly admit to it. He can, in 15 minutes, he can blurt out stuff that takes others a day. And it's not... He's a talking machine. There's definitely that, but he's very much in layman's terms, and I really find him easy to digest, and it's rapid, it's quick fire, but that's how his brain works. He's really, he's snappy, but he's to the point, and he doesn't overcomplicate things, and he's just a really good bloke.
Yeah.
I know I've probably talked again too much about him on this, report, but it's such good watching.
Well, yeah, I was going to say with the course that they did, I would suggest that he's very succinct.
Yeah.
Like he explains very, very well.
Yep, to the point. Yeah, and he doesn't fluff up much either. He just keeps on. He's a ripper. But, no, I just wanted to branch out, and I also watch Alan Benici. I like getting back to the roots.
Yeah, I watch a bit of Alan as well.
Yeah, Mad King.
Yeah.
Yes. And I like watching stuff bit left field, just out of the blue. Oh, there's some little thing on Bream and Gippy Lakes. I better watch that, see how that goes. Might be 20 minutes, but you pick up bits and pieces. Pretty good. But I envisage I won't have much time to be doing that in the next 4 weeks, mate. I think, I even watching on telly. I'll even go and look at some of the new Murph Hughes shows come up. I don't mind watching all that too. That's
Yeah, okay.
not too bad, yeah.
There you go. All right, mate. Look, there's one thing I want to finish on, mate. So I can't remember what show number this will be. It'll be what, 195, 196 or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to have next monthly report as 200, but it may have gone past that.
Oh, yeah, right.
But for the next monthly report, we're going to have news. There's going to be a change. Something's happening.
You briefly discussed this with me. Am I
Yep.
allowed to say that it's very exciting?
It is you're not allowed to say what it is,
No,
but it is exciting. There's just a bit of an evolving of the Bream fishing project. So I just want to put that out there for people. And hopefully by the next month, we'll definitely be at 200 shows. I think we'll be at probably 190,000 plus downloads.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mm.
And we'll morph into something just a little bit different.
You're
But the same.
You're starting to cough it up.
That's it. That's all we're getting.
All right. That's all.
All right, mate. Hey, look, it's a pleasure to have you on. Harvey, mate, thanks for coming on. I appreciate Harvey jumping in there. And yeah, good luck over the next month. I'll talk to you next month.
And Deethy, from everyone, thanks for everything you do. It's I know it's just been a big month, and I've just wanted to say thanks on behalf of everyone. And if you're a placing in a comp, just get on board quick with this man right here.
Good on you. All right, mate. You have a good week, and I'll talk to you next month.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you were informed, inspired and entertained. If you were able to learn something or just enjoyed listening, please consider subscribing and rate us on your favourite podcasting platform.
Ha ha ha.